Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive into the world of AI agents?
Always ready for a deep dive.
I think this one's going to be really fascinating. We're going to uncover why everyone's calling them the next big thing.
Next big thing, huh?
Yeah, maybe even as revolutionary as mobile apps were after, the iPhone came out.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
It is. But think about it. Imagine apps that don't just sit there waiting for us to do something.
Okay, I'm listening.
What if they could actually work on our behalf, like proactively, to achieve our goals?
Now that's where things get interesting. The potential is huge. We're talking about a world where apps could automate tasks, streamline our work, even save businesses tons of money.
Exactly. It'd be like having a whole team of tireless assistants working for us 24/7, all powered by, artificial intelligence. And that's exactly what AI agents are all about. We actually have a presentation on AI agents as our source material for this deep dive. So to kick things off, can you break down what AI agents actually are?
Sure, at their core, AI agents are autonomous applications. They can perform tasks, learn from their experiences, and even adapt to new information. Think of them as highly specialized digital assistants, but way more powerful.
Okay, so like a super-powered version of the virtual assistants we have today.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
But they're much more sophisticated. Take ChatGPT tasks, for example. It lets you automate things like getting daily news updates tailored to your interests, or even keeping tabs on new job postings.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
And that's just scratching the surface.
So I'm getting glimpses of the potential here, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around the bigger picture. What does this agentic world that everyone's talking about actually look like?
Imagine this. You wake up and your AI agent has already filtered your emails, prioritized your tasks for the day, and even scheduled your meetings, taking into account your preferences and goals.
Oh,
It can book your travel, suggest the perfect itinerary based on your interests, and even handle those mundane tasks that eat up our time.
okay, that sounds amazing. But how do we actually get from like this concept to reality? How are these AI agents actually built?
There are two main paths you can take. You can either code your own agent from scratch or leverage no-code platforms.
Okay, let's start with the coding route. What skills or tools do you need to build an AI agent yourself?
Well, for those who love to code, Python is your best friend. Combine that with powerful libraries like Orchestra or OpenAI Swarm, and you can tap into the advanced language processing abilities of GPT-4.
And how much coding knowledge do you need to actually build something powerful?
Even with basic coding knowledge, you can create some surprisingly powerful AI agents.
So coding is one option.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who, well, aren't exactly fluent in Python?
Don't worry, there's a solution for you too. No-code platforms like Crew AI and NAN are making AI development accessible to everyone. These platforms give you a visual interface where you can drag and drop different modules, set up workflows, and test your agents all without writing a single line of code.
So no coding experience required. You can still create these powerful AI tools. That's really exciting. But let's get down to brass tacks. How are these AI agents actually being used in the real world? Can you give us some specific examples?
Absolutely. One area where AI agents are already making huge impact is legal operations. Companies like CaseFlood are using AI to automate those tedious administrative tasks that bog down law firms. Imagine an AI agent that manages case files, schedules appointments, and even drafts those basic legal documents.
So it's freeing up lawyers to focus on the higher level stuff.
Exactly. This saves law firms significant time and money, and it lets lawyers focus on the things that require their expertise.
That's amazing. What other industries are seeing this kind of AI revolution?
The possibilities are vast, really. In sales and customer support, AI agents are being used for everything from qualifying leads to resolving customer issues. Labs, for instance, has developed these AI voice agents that sound incredibly human and can effectively pre-screen potential customers over the phone.
Yeah, I've heard of those. They're eerily realistic. So AI is stepping in to make those initial interactions more efficient.
Exactly. And then you have companies like Yuma AI that are taking it a step further. They offer AI-powered customer support that can answer those frequently asked questions, troubleshoot those common issues, and even escalate more complex cases to a human agent when needed.
So it's not just about replacing humans entirely, but rather finding that balance between automation and the human touch.
You got it. It's about augmenting human capabilities, not eliminating them.
I like that. So we've seen AI handling administrative tasks in law
Mm.
and stepping in for those initial customer interactions.
Yes.
Are there companies using AI for more, I don't know, complex tasks, things that go beyond those basic interactions?
Definitely. Yuma AI is a great example. They have an AI that handles customer support, answers frequently asked questions, troubleshoots common issues, and even escalates complex cases to a human agent when needed.
It seems like AI is striking a balance between automation and human interaction, not replacing humans completely, but augmenting their abilities and freeing them up from those tedious tasks.
Exactly. And this is just the beginning. AI agents are being used to personalize marketing campaigns, manage complex supply chains, and even assist with scientific research and development. The potential really is limitless.
So let's say you've built this incredible AI agent. Now what? How do you get it out into the world?
Well, that's where distribution and networking come in. You could have the most groundbreaking AI agent out there, but if nobody knows about it, it's not going to make a
It's
difference.
like writing an amazing book and then just leaving it in a drawer, right? All that work, but no one gets to experience it.
Exactly. You need to actively get your AI agent in front of the right audience. That means building a strong online presence, attending industry events, and making those connections with potential users.
It sounds like networking is key in any field, but especially in the fast-paced world of AI agents.
You're absolutely right. Building relationships with other developers, investors, and potential customers can open doors you might never have imagined.
I can definitely relate to that. When I first started exploring AI, I really pushed myself to get out there. I went to events, even flew out to Silicon Valley to immerse myself in that tech scene.
That's great. What were some of the key takeaways you got from that experience?
I quickly realized that building a great product is just the first step. You also need to be able to articulate your vision, connect with people who share your passion, and build a community around your creation.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about the people and the connections you make.
Exactly. It's about challenging yourself, learning from others, and constantly seeking ways to grow and evolve.
And on that note, another crucial aspect of launching your AI agent is confidently pricing your product. Don't be afraid to charge what you're worth.
That's a really good point. It's easy to undervalue your work, especially when you're starting out. But pricing your solution appropriately signals confidence to potential customers.
You got it. It shows them that you truly believe in the value of what you've created.
It's a reflection of all the time, effort, and expertise you've invested in building something truly innovative. We've talked about what AI agents are and how they're built. But now, let's talk about the impact. As these AI agents become more part of our lives, it's natural to, wonder about how they'll affect us humans, right?
Definitely. It's a valid question.
Okay.
A lot of people, when they hear about AI automating tasks, their first thought is, well, what about jobs?
Right, like, is my job going to be replaced by a robot? That's a pretty common fear with any new technology.
It is, but historically, advancements in technology have always led to disruption, yes, but they've also created new opportunities. Think about the printing press, the automobile, the internet. Each of those brought big changes, but they also led to entirely new industries, new jobs that we couldn't have even imagined before. AI agents, well, they're likely to follow a similar path.
So instead of being afraid of AI, we should maybe focus on adapting and evolving along with it.
Exactly. A mindset of lifelong learning. That's key. AI will probably automate some tasks, sure, but it will also create a demand for new skills, skills that complement those of AI agents.
So it's not just about building AI that can do everything for us, it's also about building AI that works with us, right?
Absolutely. It's about collaboration, not replacement. Think about customer service, for example.
hmm
AI can handle those routine inquiries, the simple stuff, and that frees up human agents to focus on the more complex issues, the ones that require empathy and creativity.
Right. It's not just about efficiency, it's about improving the customer experience,
Yeah.
keeping that human touch where it's needed.
That's a great way to put it. AI can handle the quick and easy stuff, but human agents are still essential for personalized support, for building real relationships with customers. Finding the right balance, that's the key.
Makes sense. And this idea of AI augmenting human capabilities, it seems like that could apply to lots of other fields too, right?
Absolutely. Imagine healthcare, for instance. AI agents could help doctors with diagnoses, maybe analyze medical images, or even give personalized health recommendations based on a patient's data.
That would free up doctors to spend more time with patients, building trust, and providing better care.
Exactly. And in finance, AI could analyze huge amounts of financial data, identifying trends and suggesting investment strategies.
That would help analysts make more informed decisions, provide better advice to their clients.
The potential is huge, But it's important to remember, AI agents, they're tools. They're only as good as the data they're trained on and the intentions of the people who build them.
That's a good point. It's like that saying garbage in, garbage out. You can have the most amazing AI in the world, but if it's trained on bad data, the results will be bad too.
Exactly. As we move into this age of AI agents, we have to be careful about the data we use to train them. We need to make sure that development is done responsibly with safeguards in place.
So it's not just a technological challenge, it's a societal one too. We need to think about the ethics, about the potential consequences of AI.
Absolutely. We need to have open and honest discussions about the impact of AI on society. We need to work together to make sure that AI benefits everyone.
It's not just on the developers and the tech companies then, it's a shared responsibility. Policymakers, ethicists, the public, we all have a role to play.
Exactly. We all have a part in shaping the future of AI.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a second and talk about the practical side of things.
Yeah.
Say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, this is all great, but where do I even begin?
That's a great question. And the good news is there are tons of resources out there. No matter your skill level, there's a way to get started. If you're new to coding, there are some amazing online courses and tutorials out there that can teach you the basics of Python and AI development.
And for those of us who aren't coders, there are no-code platforms, right? Platforms that let you build AI tools without having to know any code at all.
Exactly. Platforms like Crew AI and NA10, they make it easy to build AI-powered tools even if you don't know how to code. They have visual interfaces you can just drag and drop different modules, set up workflows. It's really user-friendly.
And there are also communities online, right, where people can connect with other AI enthusiasts and get support and advice.
Absolutely. Places like indie hackers, subreddits dedicated to AI, those are great places to connect with other people, share what you're working on, ask questions, learn from each other.
So it sounds like there are a lot of ways to get started. The important thing is to just dive in and start exploring.
I completely agree. And don't be afraid to experiment. The great thing about AI development is that it's a very iterative process. Start with a simple idea, build something, test it out, get feedback, and keep refining it.
It's all about learning by doing. You don't have to be perfect right away, you just have to start.
That's right. And who knows, maybe you'll create the next big AI breakthrough.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities.
It really is. The key is to stay curious, keep learning, and never stop exploring.
Speaking of exploring, when I first started learning about AI agents, I was overwhelmed. There's just so much information out there. It's hard to know where to begin.
I know what you mean. AI is such a fast-moving field, it's easy to get lost in all the information. What helped you get past that initial feeling of being overwhelmed?
Honestly, talking to people who are already building and using AI agents, hearing their stories, learning from their experiences, that was incredibly helpful.
So networking, again, it seems like building those connections is really important in the world of AI.
It really is. You learn so much from other people's journeys, their mistakes. It can save you a lot of time and frustration down the line.
That's so true. Sharing knowledge and best practices, it helps everyone learn faster.
And besides networking, I also found it helpful to just focus on specific use cases instead of trying to learn absolutely everything about AI all at once.
Right. It's easier to stay motivated when you have a concrete problem you're trying to solve.
Exactly. And when you focus on something specific, you can see actual results. And that's really motivating, keeps you going.
It's about setting achievable goals, making progress, and celebrating your successes along the way. And then as you gain more experience, you can take on bigger challenges.
It's a journey, not a
Yeah.
destination, right? The world of AI, it's always changing. We have to stay curious, keep learning, never stop exploring.
I love that. And remember, the key is to just never stop learning. Stay curious, keep up with the latest trends and technologies.
Read industry publications, go to conferences, participate in those online forums, right?
Exactly. Stay connected, share knowledge, learn from each other. It's all part of the journey.
And as we wrap up this part of our conversation, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about as we move into our final segment.
Oh, I like where this is going. Hit us with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, so here it is. As AI agents become more and more integrated into our lives and their capabilities continue to grow, how do we make sure that they're developed and used responsibly?
That's a really important question, and it's one that we'll all need to grapple with as individuals, as a society, even globally.
It's a question that requires a lot of thought and collaboration across many different fields. But it's a conversation we need to start having now.
I agree. The future of AI depends on it.
All right, welcome back, everyone, for the final part of our deep dive into the world of AI agents. We've explored their potential, we've talked about the challenges of building them, But as we move toward a future where AI is more and more integrated into our lives, there's this big question looming.
The question of responsible development, right? As AI agents become more powerful, how do we make sure they're used ethically? How do we make sure they benefit everyone?
Exactly. So how do we even begin to address such a complex issue? What are the key things we need to consider when we're talking about responsible AI?
Well, one crucial aspect is transparency. You see, as AI agents get more complex, it can become really hard to understand how they actually make decisions. It's like a black box. Data goes in, results come out, but the reasoning behind those results, that can be unclear.
Right, that lack of transparency can be a little unsettling, especially when these agents are making decisions that impact our lives in big ways. So how do we address that? How do we make sure that these AI agents are actually accountable for the decisions they make?
It starts with the developers. They need to prioritize transparency right from the design stage. They need to build AI systems that can explain their reasoning, but in a way that humans can understand. Like, imagine if the AI could tell you, hey, I made this decision because of X, Y, and Z.
So it's not just enough for the AI to be effective, it also has to be able to explain itself, right?
Exactly. Accountability goes hand in hand with transparency. And another big thing we have to consider is the potential for unintended consequences. AI agents, they're trained on huge amounts of data. And if that data contains biases, well, the AI's decisions can reflect those biases, maybe even amplify them.
Right. We've seen examples of that already, haven't we? Like AI systems showing bias in hiring or loan applications. That just shows how careful we need to be about the data we use to train these agents.
Absolutely. We need to make sure the data is diverse, representative, and free from harmful biases. And we need to be able to detect and correct those biases, not just in the data, but throughout the entire development process.
It sounds like responsible AI development, it's a multifaceted challenge. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the people creating it, the data it's trained on, and the ways it's used in the real world.
You got it. It's a shared responsibility. Developers, policymakers, ethicists, even the public, we all have a role to play. We need to work together to make sure AI is used for good and benefits everyone.
It's about creating a future where AI empowers people, strengthens communities, helps build a more just and equitable world.
That's a future worth fighting for.
And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into AI agents. We've explored their potential, the challenges, and the responsibilities that come with this incredible technology.
It's been a fascinating journey, and I hope our listeners now have a better understanding of just how much AI is going to impact our future.
If there's one thing I want everyone to take away from this conversation, it's this. The future of AI, it's not predetermined. It's something we can shape.
So let's be curious, let's have these important conversations, and let's work together to build a future where AI makes our lives better.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And remember, the future is ours to create.